And roll. Okay, good morning, you guys. If you have any questions today, feel free to keep letting that chat rock and roll. You guys can stop me, ask questions at any time. I'm here to help you guys as much as possible and then share all my tips that I can. So just double check that you guys are all muted, and then we will rock and roll, because if you guys know me in the slightest, I am extremely squirrely. And if I hear something, I'm like, what? Like colors. So mute yourself as soon as you guys hop on. Ask any questions in the chat bar. And once again, as soon as I see that notification, I'll probably ask that and answer it. But Jen and I were chatting. We were trying to figure out like what I could talk about and share with you guys. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go social media route or if I wanted to chat about business and stuff. And she's like, Britt, you signed up at least 12 coaches this year. This month. How are you doing this? And every single month since February, I think I average 8 coaches a month. And not all of these are business builders, of course, but I just kind of wanted to share how I'm doing this and what's working for me right now, because once again, in this business, we know if something is working right now, it's probably going to change in like 8 weeks and something else is going to be working. So this is kind of a combination of social media presence, and how to actually get these new coaches into your team and onboarding them. So first things first, and I heard it. First things first, you guys, in January 15th, when we started 80-Day Obsession, I committed not only to that program, but I committed to making this a business this year. I don't know if any of you guys follow Emily Favre, but that's what she did when she started 80-Day Obsession in the test group. And her business exploded. And I said, if she can do it, so can I. And I literally drew that line in the sand that said, I'm no longer being fluffy with this. I am actually going to draw a line in the sand, and this is the year I'm creating a business. All of the fears that I had beforehand, I let go of them, and I said, we're going to freaking rock this. Sorry, I just want to like adjust here so I can kind of see everything. But one thing that really allowed me and helped me in this business, buddy, it is not playtime right now. I feared going back into the real world, essentially, right? Like I had been creating a business through personal training, and then I was living in a super small town of like 200 people, and then I started coaching, and I kind of grew that way. But what was really, really helpful is I went through this like crazy breakup. And if you guys have like watched my story, it's ridiculous. But coaching allowed me to be able to move whenever and wherever I wanted to. It allowed me to heal on my own, because regardless of what you guys are going through, coaching and having this freedom of this business allows you to, and whenever you're going through anything tough, you need time to figure that stuff out, put everything in order. And that's something that coaching has allowed me to do, and why I am so happy and thankful and grateful that I have this opportunity and can give that to somebody else. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to be relatable with people. Like, what can people connect with? And I really kind of studied that. And I had been following Chalene Johnson on Snapchat forever. And I realized with that is Chalene was showing me every single day how I could, hold on, you guys. I need to toss Bernie outside because he's going to drive me nuts. Hey, are you going to be quiet? Okay, I just have to show you guys this. It is hilarious. Taryn, do you mind muting yourself? Oh, yeah, everything's like popping up. Thank you. Okay. I don't know if you guys, I don't even know. There we are. He's just chilling, yoga matting. Okay, I gotta find Taryn here. Sorry, you guys. I'm okay. Perfect. We're muted. Okay, back on my little rant. So I was figuring out, I'd been following Shalene Johnson on social media for so long, and I realized I was buying the push journals. I realized I was interested in the 131 diet before 2B Mindset came out. I loved Pio, Turbo Jam. I did when I was 13. Everything Shalene Johnson did, I wanted and I bought. And I was like, okay, but why am I doing this? Well, every single day she showed me how she was using her Smart Life Push Journal. Every single day, every morning when she woke up, she showed me how she was doing it. She showed me that she laid it out before bed and how simple it was to do it. She shared with the 3 things that allowed her that regardless of how her day went, she was going to get those 3 things done to allow her to do this. And I was like, hey, I can do that in my business as well. I can show people that I am doing my personal development, my workouts, and drinking my shake super, super easily. And people can see that relatable in the crazy mayhem of life. And that's why we buy stuff. We buy stuff because we connect to someone's story. We connect with the busy mom. We connect with the super stressed out student. We connect to people who are going through everything. And you guys see how like squirrely I am? It's incredible. But that is something that, I'm so sorry, guys. That's something that we find so relatable, and we connect with people. So people who, a lot of university students right now that I'm talking to and connecting with, they don't relate to me. But I then go back in my story and say, hey, you know what? When I started this business, I was a full-time student. I wasn't getting paid for my internship. I was finishing my psych minor. I was doing personal training, and then I started coaching on top of that. And sharing that crazy, hectic busyness, that allowed people to connect with me that way. And what I also realized is Shalene was adding so much value. She wasn't scared to show you exactly what the Smart Life Push Journal was before you could even buy it. She wasn't afraid to show you that her 3 water bottles for the 131 diet, she had those 3 water bottles. She wasn't afraid to show you. And even if you went and bought 3 water bottles like I did and used that exact same thing, that is something that she was like, regardless, she has impacted my life by sharing that. And that is something that you guys can look at. Again, how can I share? Like anyone and everyone can buy Shakeology, BOD, anything and everything that we sell. People can go get it anywhere. But why they're going to come to you is it because of those relatable stories that you have and how you are integrating that into their life and how you are also giving so much value. People are going to value you rather than like if you just post out, hey, I'm doing a challenge group. And that's kind of what's going to bring me to my next one is I was watching a call with my girl, Bonnie Engel, and she talks about being a sharesman, not a salesman. And I realized this was such a cool way for me to like, that's what I've been doing is being a sharesman, not a salesman. So there's the old school way and the new school way of doing your social media right now. The old school way is putting up that coach announcement. I'm going to become a coach, right? That's your coach announcement. The next one is like, I'm doing a challenge group. Who wants to lose 5 pounds in 4 weeks, doing 4 days or 3 days a week with workouts and stuff like that, right? Like we all know these posts. We know that people, when they sign up as a coach, they slap out that like product stock photo that Beachbody provides. And they're like, boom, here's our sale. And if you guys know any other company that is on your social media, which I do not have to name because you guys can probably think about 3 of them that show up on your social media every single day of here's our stock photo, buy it. It's like, no. The reason, I'm going to give you guys an example here as well is, so there's this oil company that is flying around. And one of my friends, she is actually, I think, comparable into our world, the Bonnie or Lindsay Matway of the oil world. And she has recruited everybody and their dog in Canada, even though she lives in the States, doing this. But the reason why people are buying from her and not from like most of these other people, and why these other people aren't as successful, is she shows you every single day how she is using these products with her kids, her family, how she uses them, how she makes them, everything. She's providing so much value compared to people who are under her that I know are under her. So once again, Sharesman, not a salesman. So there is posts, once again, that are in our salesman, the old school way of like, hey, join my group. Hey, become a coach. And just so you guys know, I have done every single one of these posts. I have done the, hey, join my group. I have done, want to become a coach? Like all those like gross posts that we see, I've done them. So have no shame. Do not be like, oh, I'm not going to be a successful coach now. No, have no fear, because you guys will be successful. You guys, these are just mistakes. And I have it written on my desk, fail faster. Now, we are going to be trying new things, trying things that work. And you know what? Sometimes making a post that says, hey, I'm doing this new nutrition program. I'm looking for 5 people who want to lose 10 pounds. You know what? Sometimes that works, because sometimes someone's like, yes, I want to lose that 10 pounds right now. Sometimes it does work, but not every single post. And I find a lot of brand new coaches, they do their coming out post. Great. That's exciting. They get some traction. People are excited for them. People are liking, people are talking. The next post they do, hey, join my challenge group. They get a little bit more traction. And then they come to you a week later and they're like, my business is not successful. I don't understand. And you look at their social media and they've done these 2 posts and that's it. So what we have to do is go into the new school way of sharing, adding value, and showing up every damn day. Good morning, Miss Virginia Chell. So, I'm going to make fun of you later. But the new school way of your guys' social media is sharing, being relatable. And this is why the new Pio infomercial worked. Chalene Johnson took her cell phone with her hoodie, no makeup on, and walked around her house about why the stuff was good. Instead of having hired actors to be like, look at this. My favorite commercial is the treadmill that has like the steps. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Yes, this infomercial. And they're just like, I got like this 12 pack from this treadmill. And I'm like, no, you did not. These people are jacked. Stop. And Chalene Johnson got real people using her iPhone so it's relatable rather than this huge showcase. And we're like, oh, this does seem like a real story because someone is doing it like a Snapchat. And that's what our world is going to. And I think that's something super cool to realize and know, that imperfection is what sells now. Let that sink in for a second. Imperfection is what sells. People who are successful in this business, I think of Kim Fitzpatrick. Her business is on freaking fire right now. And the woman shows up every single day, no makeup, her hair's everywhere. She is super dressed up. Like all aspects of her life, Kim shows up as. And she shows up as her imperfect, perfect self. And she goes on being like, I have no idea how to do cheer makeup. But that was a connecting piece that allowed people to be super relatable to her. And they weren't like, oh, she's just this like person who's growing this incredible business. They're like, oh, she does still struggle. And she comes on every single day with her social media saying like, hey, this is what I struggled with this weekend. Hey, we've been traveling a ton. I've been off my game, but here's how I'm going to get on it, and educates her followers. And that's what connects people to that. And the more you can be the sharesman of your story, sharing how you are creating this business, how you are building this business. And you know what? I don't want to wear makeup on Tuesdays, or whatever makes you relatable. That's what you guys want to make sure that you are sharing. And that's what people connect with. People connect with my dog. And it kind of like, sometimes I'm people are like, we want to see more of your dog on your stories, which like, obviously I love that, but I'm like, oh, but I have so much other knowledge to share with you. But then I realize that's what I'm connecting, a bunch of dog moms. I'm connecting people who want to see my dog. Like literally a coach joined my team because she liked Bernie. She straight up told me, I want to see more pictures of Bernie. So I post in my challenge group pictures of my dog because it makes her happy. It's hilarious. But that's what people connect with, right? People are going to connect with the mom. People are going to connect with the student. And sharing that schedule, like students, if you guys are in this business and full-time workers, share your schedule. Show people how to do it. Amy Silverman has an incredible video. I think, or maybe it was her Snap story one day. She was talking about and sharing how it was her entire schedule. And she broke out those little tiny pieces of where you can block out time for her business, for her workout, for taking her dog for a walk, and had it down to a minute. And people were like, oh, I can be super busy. I just have to reevaluate my time. And that's something that is super, super helpful and I think knowledgeable to help people do that. Does that kind of make sense? I had some notes that I scribbled down and I'm just making sure that I'm kind of on track with them. But okay, I'm going to give you guys kind of like 6 tips and then I'm sure I'll go on some other tangent, but this is something that you guys can like actually write down. How to be a good sharesman is number 1, your vitals. You have to showcase your vitals. So your personal development, pressing play on your challenge group. Hey, you know what? Educate people how you're using BOD. How are you finding your workout programs? How are you doing that? Showcase how you are making your shake. Doing that is going to educate people and help them. But often people who sign up, they're like, oh, I didn't know that I had to work out every day, or I didn't know I had to do personal development every day. And people are mind blown by that, but it's because you also didn't showcase it. You didn't share that personal development is part of your job. You aren't sharing that working out for 30 minutes a day is part of your job. Once you guys start sharing about that and being like, yes, I do get paid to work out. Like I remember people were like, I get paid to work out to be a Beachbody coach. I was like, no, you don't. And then now I'm like, yes, that's exactly what they do. We get paid to drink our shake, to work out, and to read a personal development book. That is why it's our 3 vital behaviors. And when we showcase that and share that, we attract people who want to do that. So that's number 1. You need to be showcasing your vitals. One tip that I have for you guys, honestly, is to, like, I was brainstorming. I was like, okay, how can I take advantage of this? Once again, I was looking at Chalene Johnson, how she shifts from Marketing Impact Academy to the 131 to the Push Life Journal. And she will spend a week sharing about one thing. And I'm like, wow, you could spend a week sharing tips about Shakeology. You can share one day how you're making your shake. You can do one day, hey, I was researching and I learned this about my Shakeology. Hey, here I am again drinking my Shakeology. Did you know it's like 15 salads in one? Like all that stuff, share that for a week solid. The next week, share about your personal development. Share little tidbits, how you're scheduling that in, why you're scheduling it in, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why it's impacting your life. Doing those week segments is going to educate people more about what you're doing. But once again, your entire stories doesn't have to be only about your shake, only about that. Still live your life and document the relatable. So once again, you guys, I realized I didn't really touch on this, but you have your news feed, which is awesome. Create those beautiful blog posts, have those incredible pictures, go watch a video on how to do your social media. But where you guys are going to get your people from is your stories. Insta stories is the one and only thing that is basically working right now. Do not lack on anything else. But if there's one thing that I'm doing right now is like 1,000% stories. And that is where you are going to be this relatable person. Obviously, you're still doing this on your social media, but be relatable on your social media, your stories. Weave in that post about your Shakeology, your workouts, all that good stuff. So post about your vitals. Number 2, what makes you relatably ordinary? What makes you you? And I know that we often think, oh, this makes me boring. Oh, this isn't stuff. But when I lived in a small town and I started sharing all my small town stuff, oh my God. My headphone just shocked my ear. Oh, that hurt really, really badly. Okay. So that can be something that I'm going to share about later today. Oh no, everyone's frozen. Can you guys still hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me or see me. If someone can type in the chat,